Hi, I'm Tom, an attorney with WorkVisas.Solution, and I'm here to discuss with you the new Trump administration's rules that just came out on January 31st, 2019 regarding changes to the H-1B visa. You might be saying, wait a second, buddy. The H-1B visa was codified by Congress in 1990. How come the Trump administration is changing congressional law? Hold on a second, sport. That's not what's going on at all. As you can see, we are at the Federal Register. We can talk about civics for just a moment. If you're enjoying this civics lesson, please give us a like and subscribe and stick around to the end, because that's when you'll get to the quick about who has a higher likelihood of being awarded an H-1B visa for the 2020 year because of the changes by the Trump administration. Back to the civics lesson. Of course, Congress makes the laws, but the executive branch enforces the laws. And in order to enforce the law, the executive branch makes what? Regulations. They're very often in the Office of the Federal Register. And here are all these rules and the regulations. So, yes, you can go into it, and then you can drill into it. This is how law works. You know, this is what lawyers do all the time. They read regulations. Now, if you want the Cliff's Notes, you can go to, oh my gosh, the USCIS wants me to give my opinion on things. And not right now. My opinion on this would be best use case ever, because I'm talking about, no thanks. I'm talking about the press release page that you can go to for the USCIS, which gives you all of their updated information. And if you are interested in the H-1B visa, this is probably the biggest press release that you have gotten recently, and it discusses in a more 30,000 foot view of the actual detailed regulations, which of course are linked right there. It's a great press release. The person knows what they're doing, by the way. If you want an H-1B visa and you've gotten a master's in the United States, or a doctorate in the United States, you're going to have a greater chance of winning the lottery. Now, back in the day just being last year's lottery, there was still the master's cap, and that master's cap lottery would happen first. So even last year, H-1Bs were on average, they had a master's. There was a 55% chance they had a master's, and I think like a 30 or so percent chance that they had a PhD. The least amount of H-1Bs are actually in bachelor's or below. There's very few that don't have bachelor's. The Trump administration says that it made this change because it wants to lower the costs to businesses, which is always important because the H-1B visa can be expensive when it comes to not only attorney's fees, but also non-refundable USCIS fees. So the Trump administration is claiming that they're trying to address that, and they say that this change will result in an increase of 16% of the number of selected H-1Bs that will have a master's or higher from a U.S. institution. The Trump administration wants to electronically register all the petitioners, all the people that are going to try to get into that lottery. Last year was approximately 190,000. So all those 190,000 people will have to go and register electronically. However, that won't be this year. They say right here in the press release that it'll be next year in 2020 that all the H-1B applicants will need to register, which kind of makes sense. If you've ever seen the government make a website, it takes time. There's some really good links that I'm going to give you in the description that have politics to a certain extent. The Trump administration, of course, has what they want to happen, and so they are going to tinker with as much as they can to then claim victory. This appears to be one of those ways to do that, and it goes back, they're even citing his now almost 2 years old executive order, the Buy American and Hire American First executive order. Again, back to the civics class. Congress makes the law, statute. President and the executive branch make the rules as to how the statute is carried into effect. And that's the wiggle room in which his executive order and now these changes in the H-1B process pursuant to the rules. It's where they can really exert, the executive branch can exert its authority. And they've done it. It looks like what they are trying to accomplish are more the same to a certain extent, because H-1Bs were already predominantly from a master's. Now they're going to try even more to push for masters that were earned in the United States or greater than the master's. If you have any questions about your H-1Bs or any other type of work visa which you need solutions for, please drop it in the comments or visit us at workvisas.solution. It's very easy to get in touch with us. Thanks, and I'll see you soon.